it's Erin. If it's your first time on my channel, I like to talk about stationery and bullet journaling, and I'm really happy that you're here for this because today I have so much stuff to show you from Stationery Pal, like so much. Oh my God. This is a back to school haul, but full disclosure, I haven't been to school in a really long time. I'm 34. I've learned things, but I haven't been in a formal education background for a while, and I come from the time before technology. Like, I used floppy disks in my school days, and I handed in handwritten essays, so things may have changed a bit, forgive me. Stationery Pal very kindly gave me $80 to spend in the store to pick some things to share with you for this little back to school haul. So I've tried to pick things that I think will work really well in a back to school kind of study context, I hope. But I've also picked stuff that I think is going to work really well in a bullet journal context, which some people do use bullet journal techniques and bullet journal supplies to help enhance their studying experience. So shall we begin? Just before we get into everything that's in the box, I am also teaming up with Stationery Pal to give away a back to school stationery kit. Here's what it looks like over here on this side of the screen. There's a lot of really beautiful stuff in there. If you want to find out all about the giveaway and how to enter, stick around until the end of the video. Also, of course, there are links to all of the items that I'm showing you in this video in the description down below. They are affiliate links, so I will make a little bit of money if you do make a purchase through any of those links. And also, I have a discount code for you with Stationery Pal. You can use my code Erin to get 12% off usually. Depending on when you're watching this video, the discount will be like different. So until the 31st of August, I can actually get you 18% off your Stationery Pal order, which a lot of their stuff is already discounted, so that's another 18% off on top of that. After the 31st of August, it goes back to my usual discount rate, which is 12%, so get in there. And during this back to school time, Stationery Pal are also giving away a whole bunch of other prizes to people who make purchases on their website, things like AirPods, Fitbits, Kindles, really cool stuff. So make sure that you jump onto Stationery Pal in the next little while and see if you can win some stuff, either here through this video or just in general over on Stationery Pal. All right, let's open this up. Just gotta say, I got a lot of stuff. How pretty is this box? I've had stuff come from Stationery Pal before, and that box was also cute, but I think I went a little bit more crazy this time, and so it's a bigger box. We're gonna need a bigger box. I have already opened this and had a look at everything, so it's not my first time seeing this stuff. It's not like a first reactions kind of moment, but it's still really exciting. I'm gonna go pretty fast just because there is so much stuff. I actually bought 34 things. I got 34 separate items for under $80. So if you're looking for affordable back to school stationery stuff, might I recommend. Cute thing about Stationery Pal is that they always send you some freebie stuff, some just like cute little extra bits. And they most definitely are cute. We've got the customary Stationery Pal little dude here. We've got these cute little like beanies, toques. We've got a little pin that says Wanderlust. It's got a sticker on it still. I might take that off. Should I put it on my jacket? Oh, it's too close. I may or may not come across more free stuff as we go. So I'm just gonna put them to one side because these are not items that I have selected. These are just cute little bonus things, which is always a nice thing to have. My cat likes playing with these teddies. So fun fact about my school experience, I went to a school that didn't have lockers. So we couldn't dump our stuff and then go back for that heavy maths textbook later. We had to like carry our stuff with us everywhere all day on our backpacks. But we live in the age of the tote bag. And so I have selected 2 corduroy tote bags, which would have been really helpful to carry books around. Like, is this not a stylish way to carry a bullet journal? I've picked 2 colors. They're the same bag. I've got the pink version here, which is actually a little bit more of a mauve. Actually, does that go really well with my top? That was unintentional. I love corduroy. It's just such a nice sensory experience. This one says, "You need this one. Take care of laundry." Interesting message. Who's reading their tote bags anyway? So that's the pink version. I also got it because you can never have too many totes. It's the same, except it's white. I like it. I'm picturing going to the library, taking my bullet journal, taking my laptop, getting some work done. Maybe that's a situation you might also find yourself in if you are someone who studies. These cuties are $5.90 each US. All of the prices that I mention in this video will be in US dollars, just because I feel like that's the most recognizable currency. General stationery. Let me forage. for the item that I'm looking for. Oh no, did I not put everything? Oh, there it is. This is a metal stencil ruler, which is a very descriptive title. It's a stencil and a ruler that's made out of metal. It's pretty cute. It's got numbers, it's got symbols. It has a 12cm ruler on one end and a wavy edge on the other side that you could use to make some cool effects in your journal. I did see on their description for this item that they recommend using a really fine pencil to outline this. So if you have like a mechanical pencil, this is also from Stationery Pal from my last video. If you want to check that out, go check out this link up here in the top corner. Because they're quite fine, it can be difficult to get into the corners of some of these. So maybe if you're laying down your stencil, outline in pencil first, and then if you want to get in there with a brush pen, you can take the stencil away and trace over the lines. I'm making some noises. There were a couple of symbols here specifically that I thought might be really fun for my travel journal, which is kind of what inspired me to grab this. There's like a little airplane and suns and moons and stuff like that. So I thought that could be fun. But also for studying, who doesn't need a little cute ruler to bring with you everywhere? And maybe you'll want to embellish your study notes with like, I don't know, some of this might be relevant to what you study. I have no idea. It's been a long time, my friends. It's been a long time. $2.60 for the metal stencil ruler. This is an item that is already on my table because this is my second time getting one. This is the gold large binder clip, which is currently also on my bullet journal. Is that in frame? Yeah, it is. Cool. I remember really laughing at this one when I pulled it out of the box last time around because it was bigger than I expected, and then it turned out to be so good, but I only had one and I wanted to have two. So I'm just gonna slide this on the other side of my journal. This is gonna be really handy. Good for keeping stuff together, good for collating notes that are maybe loose, good for holding your book open if it's the kind of book that like wants to spring up. And it only cost, where are we? $1. So if you're not familiar with Stationery Pal, they have this dollar mall. I'm just ticking things off my list as I go so I know what I've talked about and what I haven't. If you're not familiar with Stationery Pal, they have a section on their website called their dollar mall where everything there is $1 or less. And a lot of the stuff that I've picked today falls into that category. So there's a lot of really affordable, really cute stuff. Oh, fellow washi tape decorators, do you find you struggle with keeping your washi tapes organized? Your struggle is over because that's what this is for. This is a washi tape dispenser. So yeah, you got your regular sticky tape dispensers like this, and it's got the little metal teeth at the end so that you can tear your tape off. This is that, but it's for washi tape. So the way it works is you just rotate this thing, slide it out, and then you can stick a washi tape on there, slide it back through. It's like a toilet roll holder, you know? There's a few different colorways for this as well. I've picked the green version. I'm not going to extend the washi tape because I don't plan to necessarily immediately use this one. What I thought I'd do is I tend to use a couple of different washi tapes for a theme in my bullet journal. So I'm planning to just stick the ones that I'm using for a month on here and keep it on my desk. And then when I'm setting up like weeklies, I usually only do the first weekly for my bullet journal video plan with me situation. So I'm planning to just put the ones that I'm using for the month on here, keep it out, and then I can rotate through them and have them handy to grab when I'm setting up other stuff. Really useful. That only cost me $1.90. That's insane. Also, they're stackable. So if you have a lot of washi tapes and this is how you want to store them, stack them up on top of each other, keep them out, display as well as function. Can't go wrong. The next one is a big boy. I'm really excited about this. This is a Faber-Castell 36 color watercolor set. And I've been wanting to get good at watercolor. I had these really cheapo, literally dollar store watercolors that I've used in my journal a couple of times. I don't really enjoy using them. They're in little squeezy tubes, like gouache paint almost. This one is solid colors. It's come with a little water pen, you know, you fill up the barrel with water and then you can use it with these. This side is a palette so you can mix your colors as you like. There's a little sponge over here as well. Everything on the box is in Chinese, which makes sense because I believe Stationery Pal are based in Hong Kong. Yes, Chinese characters makes a lot of sense. I can speak like 3 words in Cantonese and they're all swears. This is definitely the most expensive item in this particular haul. This one was $23.40, so not a cheapie, this guy. Probably a comparable price to what you could get this kind of thing for in a store in Australia. Actually, should I check that? It doesn't even appear to be something that's readily available in Australia. It's on Amazon for $50.87. That's definitely a lot cheaper from Stationery Pal. I have said before that I don't enjoy using watercolor in my bullet journal. Will that change now that I have this? It remains to be seen. We'll find out. How does watercolor relate to back to school? I don't know, maybe you take an art class. Maybe you just need a stress release. Maybe I just wanted the watercolor set, okay? Let's talk about something that really will be useful for studying. That is sticky notes. I've got myself perhaps an overabundance of sticky notes. I think they're really useful for studying specifically. I also think they're really useful for bullet journal accent cuteness. So that's versatile because obviously I'm probably not gonna take these to a class anytime soon or anything, but maybe you will. So I wanted to show you, wanted to give you the option. First of all, we got these sticky memo sets that all come with a little ruler as well on the side. I got it in 3 colors. I've got peach, green, and gray. And they have some good color variation going on in there too. I think I'll probably actually use this one in my August bullet journal setup, so do subscribe and stick around on my channel if you want to see how I use these in my bullet journal, because, I mean, no guarantees, I might change my mind, but this is going to fit the color scheme that I've been thinking of. These are $2.10 each, and you get 25 sheets of each variety of paper that's on there, so that's pretty cute. It's also saying something on the back about the ruler having different sized... Oh, okay, so the ruler... Let me just open this so I can show you. Oh, wait, no way. This is not what I was expecting. Okay, this is actually even cooler than I thought it was going to be. I thought this over here was the ruler, but actually it's designed so that it can go into ring binders. So if you have like a little Filofax or like a spiral bound notebook even maybe, you could insert this with the holes on this side. They've given you different ones for like if you have a 2-ring binder that you want to add it to. And then the ruler is on the sheet that everything is stuck to on the backs, and that's a 16 centimeter ruler, and it's a flexible kind of plastic. I know some people prefer their rulers and their templates for journaling purposes to be flexible, because if you paste a lot of stuff into your journal, the page can become quite convex, and that makes it easier to stick your stuff down. So how cool is that? Only like, what did I say? $2.10. So of course I got 3 of them. Do I need 3 ruler sheets for a binder? No, but it is a good way to organize them, so that's really cute. And I like the variety of shapes we've got here too, where you've got pretty standard, like this could be a to-do list, this could be a checklist, this could be whatever. The other stuff, this one's got a grid on it, these ones have got lines, so I can envision, okay, so I have been studying something, but not formally lately. I just got Duolingo and I've been learning French because I've always wanted to learn French, and I will be going to France next year, but everyone's telling me that my efforts won't help. I'm like, I don't really care. I've always wanted to learn French, so I'm doing it for fun more than doing it to be able to communicate when I'm overseas. And I've been keeping up with the Duolingo stuff, but I really want to have, I guess, a French notebook to write things down in. When I was learning Korean, I had a Korean notebook and it was really helpful, and I color-coded things. So I'm thinking I'll be using these for color-coding my French notes. And I think this could be really good for like headings, or if there's a word that you're struggling to remember, then you can, you know, write it down in this kind of situation. I remember hearing, anecdotally, I don't have the studies to back this up, but I do remember hearing that if you color code your notes, you're more likely to remember your stuff. I'm more likely to just look at it again because I like things that are color coded, so sticky notes. Erin's favorite thing, apparently. I've also got a couple of different varieties of sticky note. This one I just thought was so freaking beautiful. This is a Mercury variety of like a space planet sticky note. $1.10 from Stationery Pal. You get 30 sheets of this, and I tried to do a space theme recently and I didn't like how it turned out. So some of the stuff I've picked is because I wanted to do a space theme that works better. I don't know if I'd actually write on these. I think I'd use them purely decoratively, but if you wanted to write on planets, you have the option. Especially if you were doing like an astronomy unit at school. Especially if you were doing an astronomy unit or something like that at school, or you just like space and you want to theme your notes around it because it's fun and that's really pretty. There are other planets and stuff available too. I just picked Mercury because I thought it was the prettiest. I love these colors so much. Go be with your brethren. Okay, I got some black sticky notes as well. Let's open this. Did I tell you the price of the Mercury ones? They were $1.10, just in case I forgot. These are from 3M, so they're like the big boy original brand, like Post-it brand. Once again, everything is in Chinese, which I cannot read, but that's okay because I know how to use a sticky note, so it's fine. I thought these would be really cool, again in a bullet journal, maybe to do some headings in your notebook. You know, use them to mark pages of your textbook, use them to mark passages that you need to refer to. Do people still reference books for school, or is it all online now? I don't know, but if you do still use books, sticky notes, my friends. I used to have to go to the library and photocopy the pages from encyclopedias to research for my assignments because we didn't have internet at home yet. So I just thought these would be really fun with gel pens or paint pens. I'm not willing to commit to a fully black page journal, so I thought this would be a good way to kind of transition some black pages into my journal without, you know, you get what I'm saying. $3.20, expensive as far as sticky notes go, but you are paying for the Post-it brand, so even still, probably cost you more at Officeworks, just saying. And last but not least, index sticky notes. So I do love the idea of marking a page. I liked putting, where is she? The beginning of my 2022 bullet journal, I actually put tabs. I don't really want to show you those pages. They have data on them that I blur out. If you want to see, maybe go watch my flip through video. I'll link it up here in the corner. I have tabs in my initial setup in this book, and they worked really well. But rather than having to maybe cut them yourself, then you could add tabs to a notebook, different sections for different classes, different sections for different topics, units, stuff like that. Color code your things. Once again, I love me some tabs, and because they're sticky note tabs, you can move them around. So if you need more pages than you thought you were going to need, you can just peel it off and stick it on a new page and you're good to go. So these ones were $1.30. Sticky notes. Clearly, I'm obsessed. So that's the sticky notes section done. I have just spotted another freebie. They call it a cell phone bracket. I know this is a pop socket thing that you stick on the back of your phone to make it easier to hold onto. I don't really like using these on my phone. Oh, that's creative. They've got an image on the back of this with 2 of these attached to the phone and someone's wound their headphones around them. Then again, who's using headphones with cords these days? Besides me. It's cute though. Let's do some stamps. I got 2 sets of stamps. 3, sorry, my bad. I got 3 sets of stamps. These are the kind of clear stamps that you peel off the backing sheet and you attach to an acrylic block, and you can then stamp them onto whatever page you like. I tend to use these with paint pens rather than ink pads because I just find that easier. I can have more of a color range in a more versatile way with a paint pen than I can with like having like 100 ink blocks and then having to store them somewhere and worrying about them drying out and all that. Like it's a time. So these ones are the corner clear stamps. They're like the little decorative bits that go in the corner of frames, you know? And at the moment, I'm really having a moment with antique vintage kind of things. So these in gold around a heading, I think would be really cool on the corners of your page. Something I've recently learned about myself from my experiments in journaling. If you didn't catch my Quirky Cup Collective haul video, I bought this journal to be my journal, you know, where you write about your thoughts and feelings and stuff. And I've tried journaling before and had no luck until I started kind of decorating my journal like a bullet journal and just using like little bits of washi tape in the corners or just stuff to make it, stickers, stuff to make it that little bit prettier. And then suddenly I want to write in the book. So apparently I am highly driven by aesthetic, which I'm not a star sign person, but apparently that's a Libra thing, so maybe I should have known. Anyway, corner stamps. I feel like this theory could transfer over to study and note taking, where you're more likely to want to look at your notes again if they're cute. So once again, stamps. Frame stamps, corner stamps, and also postage stamps. These ones are a different price, so let me put them down for a second. They're very intricate and cute. I like to keep this kind of stamp kind of small because if you have a big stamp, by the time you finish coloring it all in with your paint pen, the side that you started on is dry and then it doesn't transfer into your page. So keeping it small is preferable. And they don't take up a lot of space, unlike your traditional kind of woodblock mounted stamps. So the corner clear stamps and the frame stamps are $1.10 each. And the postage stamps are a whopping $1.20, a whole 10 cents more. And these, of course, this is me thinking about my upcoming trip. I do plan to keep a travel journal, and I probably won't take these with me and stamp in my travel journal on my travels because I'm going to try and take as little stuff as possible, but I likely will stamp over the top of my stuff when I get home. So that's, I think, what these will be for. Stamps. What is that? $1, $2, $3.40 for all of these. Let's talk about pens for a second, because you can't take notes without them. They put all of this cute foo-for-all in the packaging, and it's lovely, but it does make it a little tricky to find some of your smaller items. So I've grabbed 2 more Sakura Pigma Microns. My first experience with Sakura Pigma Microns came from my last Stationery Pal haul, and I got a couple that didn't end up being the sizes that I thought they would be. And I've since branched out and got some more Pigma Microns, and now I'm obsessed, and I get why they're like the standard bullet journaling pen. They're waterproof. So yeah, that's good from a perspective if you want to like put some watercolor in your journal, but it's also great for if you travel with your stuff a lot, you get rained on, your notes aren't going to smear. I'm going to be taking one on my trip for that very reason, because who knows what could happen to my notebook while I'm on the road. Planes and trains and automobiles. And so I got the 03, which is my favorite. I have one of these already. I wanted a backup, so I got the Pigma Micron 03. Mitsu's just come to join us, so you might get to see a cat in a moment. I'm gonna put this one aside so I don't accidentally use it and confuse it with the one that I actually have in operation at the moment. That's not it, that's the 003, but still, I'm gonna put it over here. And I also got the Pigma Micron 08, which is a little bit thicker. Oh, that looks fun. I like doing headings with a slightly thicker pen, kind of like the flip side of a Tombow, like this end, the bullet end. I just think it looks really minimal and clean and smooth. And I did have the Pigma Micron 05, which is a little bit thicker than the 03 that I like using for my normal day-to-day writing stuff down, crossing it off to-do lists and stuff, but it wasn't quite thick enough for the way I was envisioning using it. So I grabbed the 08, and that's going to be really fun to play with too. So I'm slowly building a small army of Pigma Micron pens thanks to Stationery Pal, which is very nice. They're also so cheap. You can buy Pigma Microns in Officeworks in Australia now, but they're really expensive. I talked about that last time. Much more affordable on Stationery Pal, so that's how I prefer to do it. These guys are $1.70 each. I cannot believe that, because you will pay like 20 bucks for 3 of them at Officeworks. Hi, sweetie. I do have some cat items in here, but I'm not up to them yet. Those are my pens. Can I cross those off my list, please? They're under your butt now. Let's talk about washi tape briefly, because I didn't get a lot of washi tape. I already have quite a bit of washi tape, so I didn't need to especially hugely supplement things. But I did grab, kind of going back to my Mercury Post-its, I grabbed some moon and star washi tapes. One's gold, one's silver. They're both foiled just on black, which I thought were really pretty. And I was kind of thinking, is my hair stuck to your whiskers? I'm sorry. I was kind of thinking of using these again in that potentially spacey setup. Maybe I just like celestial themes at the moment. And I thought in that notebook that I showed you earlier, my diary, I guess, that could be really cute in there. I said diary really weird then. It sounded more like dowry. The gold moon washi tape and the silver moon washi tape, both the same price. They are 90 cents. And Mitsu approved. You like them, do you? They like you too. They are 15 millimeters wide, a centimeter and a half, and you get 5 meters worth of the stuff. So I think that's pretty good for 90 cents. And then there's one more washi. This one I thought would just go really well with this because it's purple and gold, and this is purple and gold, and I just thought they'd look really nice. This one actually calls itself something a bit strange. It's like purple gingham polka dot washi, but it's, I guess it could be kind of a polka dotty thing. It's purple with stars. They're not dots and it's not gingham, but it is cute. And it was only, again, 90 cents. And you can use washi tape for studying things too. You can use it to divide the page if you've got like different ideas on the one page. You can use it to accent things. You can just use it to make it cute so that you want to look at the page. This one I think is a little hard to finagle into a studying context because they're very decorative. Maybe just for your bullet journal to organize your time so that you have time to study. That's a reach. But they're scrapbooking paper sets. I grabbed 3 of them. They are all different prices, and I will start with this one. This is the Past Memory Kit. It is very inexpensive, $1.40. It's got little bits of paper in it of different shapes. These ones are really small. Some of it's got text on, some of it doesn't. That might be an actual pressed flower. I think it is. I can't see myself using that because that will leave strange bumps on my journal pages and I wouldn't love that. Oh, okay, so these are actually kind of journal oriented. There's like a to-do list with Roman numerals. There's like a calendar with sort of a habit tracker kind of thing below. Streams full of stars like skies at night. Oh, that's cute. A little bit cottagecore, a few stickers. So it's like a little journaling set, I guess. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a scrapbooking paper set because it's got stickers and stuff in it as well. Do you want to smell the flowers? That one was $1.40. Pretty cute. I didn't put the baby's breath back in there. So this is the letter stationery kit. It was $2.30. I definitely had my holiday in mind when I picked this, not gonna lie. So it's got like little fake postcards. Paste cards? What's a paste card? It's got like a doily in here, which is really sweet. I love that. Just themes, little bits of paper themed around letters, pictures of envelopes with beautiful old handwriting on. These will go very nicely with my postage stamp stickers. So that's fun. It's also got a little bit of twine that came with it so you can tie things up like that. It might be an old package or something. Oh, there's a pretty green gingham page in there too. And we've got, this one must be Renaissance. Just the page at the front has got like Paris, Peru, visit India, Rome, Australia, France, Hong Kong. And I'm like, that doesn't seem very Renaissance, but the rest of the pages in fact do seem much more Renaissance. So that's nice. Cool, yeah, this is gorgeous. Oh, this would work really well for that theme that I want to do for August as well. I might keep that out. The Renaissance pack is the expensive one. This one is $3.10. I do think it's potentially the prettiest. And I guess it also came with some twine that I almost didn't put back in. And the last one is a little paper set. I grabbed one of these last time and I really like it. And it was a floral one. This time I've grabbed the photography variety. So it's got lots of instant photo print kind of vibes to it. Very muted tones, just cute. They've already got a lot of layers in this kind of thing, so you don't need to layer a lot of stuff on top of it in your journal to get that effect, which is cool. Film strips, and it's that really nice thin paper that I like using in my journal. I hate putting cardstock like a 200 GSM piece of paper in my journal because then it makes everything really chubby and it doesn't close properly and it interferes with the way you write on the other side of the page and it's just not a fun time. So the photography thin little paper set is $1.40. Found another freebie. Last time they gave me, do you want to smell? Do you like it? You do like it. Oh, I'm glad to hear it. Last time they gave me a cinema roll, like Sanrio character. I'm not familiar with this one. It's a bear with a tiny face. Bye. This kind of stuff is always useful. It's just really cutesy wootsy. And I actually, as much as I like pink and adorable things, I don't really do like cutesy wootsy kawaii stuff. But some people do, and if that's you, Stationery Pal are gonna be a really good fit. And we've come to sticker time. Please don't judge me. I know I've said on this channel a couple of times, like, please don't let me buy any more stickers. I've been working through my sticker sets, okay? I've been finishing sheets. I've been using them up. I've been making a concerted effort. And so I let myself buy some stickers and I have no regrets. Let's just put this away for a minute. Give myself a bit more space to work with here because stickers. I really like stickers for journaling. I love small stickers, especially like little ones that I find the most agreeable to use for journaling purposes. I assume the same would be true of study notes if you just want to embellish a little bit, particularly if you have something that goes with the thing that you're studying. So for instance, we didn't study Van Gogh when I did art in school, but we did study Picasso. So if I had some little Picasso stickers, these are Van Gogh stickers, but if I'd had Picasso stickers, maybe my art notes would have been more fun. Hey, you're back. Okay, just give me a second while I feed the Mitsu and I will be right back. These are Van Gogh stickers. I guess his work is in the public domain because people seem to be able to just reproduce it at will. I think they're really cute. They are based on the Starry Night Impressionist paintings, which I love. I know they're really sad because of the time that he was at in his life when he painted them, but I still think they're beautiful. Something can be sad and beautiful at the same time, you know. Starry Night stickers are only 90 cents, which is wild. Am I sticking to my space theme aspirations? Yes, I am. I've grabbed 2 sets of cute little stickers that are celestial themed. So these are the star ones. They were 90 cents. And I've also got a starry sky version, which has little planets as well. And those were also 90 cents, so super affordable stuff here. I've also grabbed some watercolor flowers because they are my go-to. I have a washi tape sticker set that I just reach for constantly, but I'm like, you can't just do the same thing over and over, Erin. So I've grabbed some different watercolor little stickers that I plan to use the heck out of. These ones are just a little bit bigger, which will be good. Bit of variety, they look different. I love these colors, really like cool greens, very blue greens. Some of them are little wreaths, some of them are not. Also 90 cents. And then we've got one last one. These are dessert stickers, and I think they're adorable. And I couldn't find these earlier because I'm planning to use them in August. So once again, if you want to see my August bullet journal setup, that will be next week's video. I put up new videos every Monday evening, Australian time, which I think is probably Sundays in some parts of the world, but Mondays here in Australia, and you'll see these very soon. I won't actually take them out of the packet because I don't want to ruin the illusion. And then we've got little boxes and little sheets. So let's do the sheets. I love this kind of sheet. I feel like this is really portable. This is the kind of sticker system that I want to take with me on holiday to decorate my travel journal, you know, but I probably won't because this isn't really the vibe that I'll be wanting. So I'll just use this normally. There are lots of florals going on here. If you were doing any kind of botany study for school, that could be good. Oh, there's Paris ones. Oh, I didn't know that. I'm going to Paris. Oh my God, there's a cute little flamingo and a penguin and it's wearing a jumper. Oh, these are better than I thought they were gonna be. These are also watercolor stickers. Oh, they're really sweet. Some of them have got like married on them, and I am a wedding photographer. I could probably find a way to use that, but I just don't gravitate towards that sort of stuff. Autumn leaf and flower collection, cactus watercolor, boho style. I won't use any of those text things. Hi summer, etc, etc. Okay, but first coffee. I also don't drink coffee, which is kind of funny because I'm going to show you some coffee stickers in a minute. It's beside the point. But you know, I can just cut the text off some of these stickers if I want to still use them. I've done that before. Or color over it with a white paint pen. Just pretend it wasn't there. I can get creative. These are really sweet. I like these. Again, on my celestial stuff, I've got another sticker sheet set. Oh, I've just noticed the back of the packaging has a little cat under an umbrella. I like that. Is there a sticker of that? I want that. These ones have got moons and clouds and umbrellas, so it's they call this one weather/mood stickers. Washi weather/mood stickers. They are washi stickers. Oh, they do have the umbrella cat as a sticker. Oh, that makes me so happy. I think these are gorgeous. And then we have 3 little boxies of stickers. I'll start with this one. I'm not totally fussed on these, but this is a little set of tartan stickers. They're very cute. They're all like different shapes. Are they? Are they all heart shapes? No, they are different shapes. With different colours of tartan. I will be visiting Scotland early next year. And I don't know, I just thought tartan, Scotland, it's a no-brainer, right? I don't know if I'll actually use these or not. My partner teaches guitar to children, so when I have stickers that I'm like not as in love with as I thought I would be, then I give them to him and he gives them to his students when they do a good job. So it's not like I don't have an outlet for particularly this kind of thing. I think it's kind of unisex, you know. The plaid pattern stickers, there we go. These are 80 cents. None of these are over $1. The most expensive of the sticker sets is $1. So that's good to know. So these are coffee stickers. I don't drink coffee, but I love how it smells. I think it can be really pretty and aesthetic. And so I have some other coffee stickers that the lovely Beck from Sassy Pigeon HQ gave me. And so I want to like use them. I don't want to just ignore them. So I thought it would be cool to have some other coffee stickers to kind of supplement, because hers are quite large. They're like coffee rings and stuff like that. So at some point, perhaps there'll be a coffee theme, or maybe I'll use them in my travel journal. Who knows? And then I had to save some kitty cats for last because I do love me some kitty cat things. I have some cat washi tapes that I haven't used. So this is a similar kind of thing where I was like, if I expand my collection of cat themed stationery, perhaps then I can tackle a cat bullet journal theme. And these are, it's funny because I think the description says vintage cat, mini sticker pad vintage cat. It's funny because they say sticker pad, but they quite often are not in a pad. They just come in a box like this. So some of them have got like, this kitty's almost steampunk, right? And some of them are just kitties wearing bow ties. You know, kitty in a bow tie and a monocle, little Monopoly cat. Cute. And then you got this rock star in his frickin' 70s aviators, which I realize the 70s is probably considered vintage. Actually, yeah, of course it is. The 70s is well vintage. But as somebody who was born in the late 80s, doesn't seem that long ago to me. I don't know, would you want to see a cat bullet journal theme? I've done cat themes before, but I drew them, so let me know. So let's talk about the total cost, shipping, all of that good stuff. The total cost of my order was $78.90. And if you use my discount code, my usual rate at 12% off, which is anytime after the 31st of August, then you could get it for $69.43 actually for all of this stuff. So even less than the $80 US that I've like had to play with here. But until the 31st of August, if you use my code Erin, you can actually get it for $64.70, which is so cheap for 34 items, oh my god. And shipping to where I live in Brisbane, Australia was going to be $30.10. So the total cost with my discount code applied for the 12% off is $99.54. Hi, you're back. So don't forget to use that discount code before the 31st of August to get 18% off. My code once again is Erin, it's just my name. And if you want to find out more about the stuff that Stationery Pal is giving away just to people who buy on their website AirPods and Fitbits and Kindles and stuff like that, jump on their website and you'll find more information there. I'm not involved in that giveaway, but I am involved in this giveaway. Please be careful. So I've teamed up with Stationery Pal to make sure that one lucky winner who does all of the things that I'm about to tell you to do will win this stationery prize pack with over 15 items from Stationery Pal, including pens, stickers, washi tapes, a pencil case, and even more. Some of these items are actually not available on the Stationery Pal website regularly. You can only get them in this giveaway. In order to enter the giveaway, you need to subscribe to Stationery Pal's YouTube channel, which there is a link to in the description, so you can find it very easily. You need to be subscribed to my YouTube channel here as well, where you're watching this video. Like this video, and then leave me a comment down below telling me the thing that you loved the most, or still love the most if you are still attending school, about the school experience, education system. Let me know what you love or loved about school. The giveaway is open for the next 2 weeks from now, when the video is live, up until midnight on the 25th of July, Australian Eastern Standard Time. I will pick one lucky winner and I will get in touch with that person to organize to have it sent over to you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this whole video. I hope you've enjoyed seeing the goodies that I got and hopefully found some stuff that's relevant to you if you are in fact a student, or if you're not a student, because the vast majority of people who watch my YouTube videos are over the age of 25. Maybe you just like stationery like me, in which case it's all relevant all the time. As I mentioned, I've got a new video for you every week on Mondays Australian time, so do stick around if you'd like to hang out with me a little bit more. I've got plenty more haul videos, plenty more bullet journal content on my channel in case you'd like to watch some more. Until next Monday, I hope you have a wonderful week and I'll catch you again really soon. Happy studying. Bye. Mitsuno! My cat just knocked a vase off a bookcase.